Aloha, everyone. Alive and inspired tonight. That's right. We're doing a live stream, doing a little bit of a guerrilla style. That's right. We're doing it. So the reason why I'm doing this live stream is because I wanted to talk about what Marvel's doing lately, because I am not down with it, and I just got the free previews a couple of days ago, and yes, you can see Revenge of the Spider-Verse, right? They had the Spider-Verse already. Now they have the Revenge of the Spider-Verse, which is awesome. Great. Why are you doing it? The first one wasn't really that good. A lot of people were very mixed on it. I enjoyed it for what it was. Too many fucking books out, though. Then you have Spider-Gideon, which is out right now, which is the Spider-Punk, which just, the art looks like shit. It looks like there's no real good story there. I fanned through it a little bit and just looks like shit. Like utter shit. I don't know if it's an SJW book or not. I really don't fucking care. It's just fucking stupid. So let us see. Yes, here we go. So we have X-Men Black, bunch of fucking one-shots, which is crazy and weird. Oh, yes, okay, so we have Spider-Gideon, that's one of them. We have Spider-Force, that's 2 books. Vault of Spiders, that's 3. Spider-Girls, that's 4. Spider-Gwen, aka Ghost Spider, that's 5. And like, let me remind you, this is like the 3rd fucking run where she's doing where they're doing a #1 of her again, because you had Spider-Gwen, then you had Radioactive Spider-Man. Now we have Spider-Gwen, aka Ghost Spider, which is just retarded. Now we have Peter Parker as Fantastic Spider-Man, and okay, that's 6. The Superior Octopus, that looks pretty intriguing, I'm not gonna lie, because I did like Superior Spider-Man. But then you have, what else? Ben Reilly. You have, there's 2 more. I can't think of it because it just makes my brain hurt. And I'm probably going to fucking grow an aneurysm by the end of this live stream because of the stupidity that Marvel's doing. So, okay, and then we have Avengers Halloween Special, #1. Okay, so this one I can understand why they're going to do. It's a Shuri book, from Black Panther. Honestly, I actually liked Shuri's run as Black Panther when Chala, it's not T'Challa, it's actually Chala, the T silent, or it's a very hint. I believe it was Jungle Action Comics, or Jungle Action Comic #19, where he actually says that the T is very silent, or the T is not pronounced, isn't pronounced. So Chala, just like his father, is Chaka, not T'Chaka. But for some friggin' reason, they do it. It's a very annoying, So, but hey, it's like this is another thing that's very annoying. It's Raish Al Ghul. It's not Raz. It's not Raz. It's Raish. Okay, you want to know why? Because it's fucking Arabic. It means demon's head, but it's Arabic. Raish Al Ghul. Get it right, people. It's fucking annoying. Okay, oh yes, and then we have another event for the love of everything that's holy, because Marvel are just, it cannot keep to their word, and that is Infinity Wars, because we had Countdown to Infinity Wars, we had Edge of Venomverse, we had Venomize, Venomverse, what was it? Venom Inc. Now I do have the Venomized Venomverse and the Venom Inc. I got those in trade paperback, but still annoying. And they're a bunch of liars because they're like, hey, we're not going to do any events for at least 18 months. And what do? They double down on the events. Stupid. And now we have Infinity Wars because Lord knows, because of the movies coming out. Excuse me. I just drank some coffee, so I'm a little jacked up right now. And coffee tends to make me have the burpees, so sorry. But yeah, so yeah, this looks like a diamond in a rough. Hint, hint, sarcasm. So we have we have Infinity Wars, Iron Hammer, we have Infinity Wars, Soldier Supreme, Infinity Wars, Weapon Hex, Infinity Wars, Arachnite, Infinity Wars. Oh, Sleepwalker, it's back. Dumb character. Oh yes, and then we have the Return of Wolverine and his Emerald Lagasse looking stupid friggin' costume, and apparently his adamantium claws can now heat. You know what would be a better thing is that if actually him and Cyclops actually teamed up, and Cyclops actually heated his claws with his concussion blast or heat vision or whatever the hell they're calling it these days. I remember it being concussion blast, but now they're going with heat vision. Fuck it, right? Whatever which one you want to use. That would be kind of kick-ass because they're both dicks to each other in the comic books. They don't like each other, but them being forced to be put on a team and working together, that would be pretty badass. Mofos use their team-up powers to do some good. Like, I don't know, team up against Magneto or Black Tom Cassidy, the Juggernaut. That would be stupendous. And then we have the Unstoppable Wasp, because holy shit. It's not like that one didn't get canceled already, but they're doing like a mini, so apparently, Marvel's basically wised the fuck up and said, hey, listen, look, maybe we should just do minis and see if everybody's on this shit instead of just making them a series and just after like 2 issues of not selling very well, they shit can. But hey, but look, listen, there's like so many books here. And then we have Shatterstar, because Lord knows that Shatterstar, we want to learn about this motherfucker, right? I like James Tan, and let me tell you something. I would have loved to have James Tan rather than Finn Jones play Iron Fist. I thought it would have been great because James Tan is actually half, I guess, British Anglo-Saxon, while he's half Chinese, right? So that would have been great. That would have been cool, because you have this character who doesn't fit in culturally in any which way, shape, or form, American or Chinese, because the motherfucker Ray was raised in Kunlun, right? He put his fucking fists into the heart of Shaolao the Undying, right? His fucking hands into the molten heart of Shaolao the Undying. That's how you got the powers. But it would have been great, right? Because he would have been an outsider. He would not have been accepted. They could have played off of that instead of having, yes, Danny Rand in the comic book, blonde hair, blue-eyed dude, outsider, all that shit, all that jazz. I really love the Immortal Iron Fist. I thought it was a great run by was it Ed Brubaker and Matt Fraction. Really good, really, really solid. Problem is that nowadays it's very hard to accept that, right? And if they would have switched that, and if they would have used James Tan, which he was actually in, he was the drunken master in, I believe, episode 7, when they went to China, and he was kicking the shit out of Danny Rand. Having that character, having that actor, would have been great. But then they make him fucking Shatterstar. I haven't seen Deadpool 2, Electric, fucking, jump skate boogaloo. I don't give a shit. I mean, I'll watch it, when it comes out on Netflix, probably. But I'm in no hurry. But yeah, Shatterstar. Here we go. See? Right there. Shatterstar. Right there. Yeah. No one gives a shit. This is going to be canceled. Oh, yes. Black Panther versus Deadpool. Why? Oh, yeah. Here we go. X-Men Black Books. X-Men Black Emma Frost. Magneto. Mojo. Mystique. Juggernaut. Anybody else? Oh, yeah. And they're bringing back the What Ifs. So, now the What If Thor, that looks pretty intriguing, I will have to say. Even the What If Magic, was the Supreme Sorceress. That's kind of, that looks alright. I may have to peruse that a bit. But this other shit, what if Ghost Rider, what if Spider-Man, and, Flash Thompson becomes Spider-Man? No. The What If Punisher had the symbiote, that looks kind of cool. I may have to pick that one, just because it's Venom. And they're doing with, again, Marvel Zombies. Why? Who gives a fuck? Robert Kirkman, that's like almost the only thing he can fucking write is zombies. I don't know why. I mean, apparently his Song of Oblivion's okay. But, I know he's not writing the new Marvel Zombies. But that guy, that's the only thing he could ever fucking write is doing zombies. It's like, okay, dude, you did The Walking Dead, then you did Marvel Zombies, and you had fucking Peter Parker eat Mary Jane. Why? It's fucking retarded. Okay, and then yes, here we go. Avengers. Now I will say that I enjoy Jason Aaron's run on the Thor with Jane Foster. I thought that was really good. I really don't care about his new Thor all that much. Haven't read it. He did away with Jane Foster. I really don't care about Odin's son being Thor again. I knew that was going to happen, but And now, what do we have? Namor looks like fucking Edwin Cullen from Twilight. Take a look at that beaut, if you can see. And there you go. Get a good eyeful, people. There's your Edwin Cullen. This fucking guy. Yeah, so. And we have champions, because West Coast Avengers, who fucking cares? That's going to be canceled. I can't believe Champions hasn't been canceled yet, but, hey, Jim Zub's writing it, so hopefully he can do some good with it. Thor, once again. Oh, a new artist. Because Mike Del Mundo sure is fucking on this. It's Christian Ward. I have no idea. I thought Mike Del Mundo's art would be really good with that. I know he did stuff with Weird World. I thought that his art for that was very captivating. I will say that because he's more of the whimsical fantasy type of artist. So Thor, him being put on Thor, I thought it was a good choice. Still not gonna fucking read it. Then we have Iron Man, of course, Captain America, the Immortal Hulk, Typhoid Fever, Spider-Man #1. You fucking kidding me? So stupid. So dumb. We have the Amazing Spider-Man, of course. That's always a treat. Now this is what I am looking forward to. So we have Venom, the first annual, and we have Venom number 7 coming. So, you know, Donny Cates and Eben Coleo. I don't know how to pronounce the name. That's all right. We'll go with that. But yeah, so that I am looking forward to. Kind of sucks that Ryan Stegman's only doing the covers now, because I really enjoy his art, at least on the Venom. Spider-Man, not so much. I think that when he was doing Spider-Man, especially the Superior Spider-Man, his art really didn't mature all that much. It wasn't very mature, but when he's doing Venom, you can see the hell of a difference from his run on Superior to now. So he's gotten better. And yes, I'm being very skeptic of his art because let me tell you something. If I'm going to spend $4 or $5 on a fucking book, the art better be magnificent, or my ass will not pay that fucking much for a book. Because it's fucking stupid how much comic books are these days. Oh yes, here we go. Ben Rice, Scarlet Spider. Why? Again. Spider-Man Deadpool, there we go. That's another one. 9, 10, 20. Who can keep up these days? That's one thing, right? Oversaturating the market with a fucking character. It's dumb. It's stupid. Marvel, you need to stop doing it. Why? It's like Batman, okay? I don't fucking care about Batman anymore. I don't even buy his book. Why? Because Batman doesn't need my fucking money. I spend my money on Aquaman. Fucking Aquaman. And the reason why is because of Jason Momoa. Because I like the Aqua Bro. Rather than fucking stupid-ass, blonde-haired, blue-eyed Arthur Curry growing up in fucking Maine. You know, so torn apart because he's come from two worlds. Who gives a shit? You know? Having an Aqua Bro, Jason Momoa, makes a hell of a lot more sense. I mean, the dude even said on an interview that dude's from Hawaii and his people are watermen, so it kind of makes sense. I'm like, oh yeah, that is pretty cool, you know. And you know, hey, you know, your fucking dad's Jango Fett, you know, Tamara Morrison, so in the movie, and looks like he doesn't die within like the first 10 minutes, which is great. So yeah, fucking Aquaman, check it out. And also to Mara, Queen of Atlantis, that miniseries. I actually have all 6 of those. It's actually really good. Fantastic Four. Enough said on that. Oh yeah, we have the Marvel 2-in-1 still, which I don't understand that. Fantastic Four are back already, so Marvel 2-in-1, you should go bye-bye. Cosmic Ghost Rider. Okay. Sentry, Jeff Lemire. I don't care about Jeff Lemire anymore. What he said. I'm a person of Comicsgate, so until he apologizes, he can go fuck himself. Black Panther. Very popular character. I like the character. But if it comes down to Venom or Black Panther, yeah, Venom's going to win that one. Because I like Venom, Eddie Brock. So that's the Venom I like. I never really cared for Flash Thompson. I never really cared for, who else? I never really cared for Eddie Brock when he was anti-Venom or Toxin or whatever. It was so stupid. No, just give me classic Venom. Give me that guy. Eddie Brock and Venom. There you go. Oh, yeah. Matt Gargan, Venom. Didn't care for. It's like a stand-in for Eddie Brock, really. I mean, it was just stupid. Dark Reign. Yeah. Daredevil is always gonna be a character that's gonna have a book. I actually like Daredevil. I think it's a cool character. So, not surprised. As Guardians of the Galaxy, I have no idea. that's another one of why. Punisher, you know that's going to happen. Doctor Strange, now we have Old Man Hawkeye, still not done yet. Oh, look at this. We're on 10 of 12. Well, shit. And then Doctor Strange, Mark Waid, who fucking cares? Moon Knight, I actually do kind of like Moon Knight. I'm not buying it anymore since Max Bemis wants to tell his fans to go kiss his fourth point of contact. Well, that guy can kiss my fourth point of contact. And if you don't know what that is, that's a military term for ass. So. The Unbeatable Squirrel Girl, who cares? Runaways. All right. Life of Captain Marvel. Well, that's going to wrap up here pretty soon. But why? Miss Marvel, you know that's always going to be happening. Moon Girl and Devil Dinosaur. Going on issue 36. Bit of a landmark. It'll probably go up to 50. I'd be fucking surprised if it reaches 50. Because I can't believe that they haven't fucking done number one of that. Like renumbering it. Like 3 times already. I mean, I got to give it to Marvel. They just been staying the course with that one for some reason. I mean, whoever's been editing that, you know, I'll give them credit where that comes in because holy shit, good job. 1 out of 50. Death of Inhumans, Poor Man's X-Men, Mr. and Mrs. X. Who cares? Extermination. Really? X-23. All right. Well, okay. I have both the books. The first 2 books. Haven't read them yet. I love the character. I love Laura as Wolverine. I don't know why they had Logan come back. It's pretty fucking dumb. Yeah, he was going to come back because no one ever really dies NERD. You know, no one ever really dies in comic books. But you know what? You could have had Logan be away for 10 fucking years. And no one would miss him. You want to know why? Because you did everything with the character already that you could. It's like, you know, pass the mantle on to someone else. Pass the mantle on to his daughter. Which, yes, lo and behold, we find out that, yeah, Laura is not an exact clone of Logan. She is his daughter. Because Sarah Keeney couldn't replicate even double X chromosomes and make a clone out of Logan. So Laura is as much of Sarah as she is of Logan. So Iceman back again. Why? I mean, the first volume sucked. This is probably going to blow. Multiple Man. Looks like a rip-off of, well, what is it? Infamous Iron Man. Trying to have that dark and gritty Alex Maleev type Moon Knight grittiness, and it just looks, well, yeah, it's like a, or if we're just gonna go, what is it? What's the DC equivalent? Oh yeah, Mr. Miracle. There we go. Domino, probably gonna get canceled. I will say this: I can't believe that it made it to 7 issues. I figured it would be done at 6. Then you have Deadpool, you have Exiles, you have Astonishing X-Men. Oh yeah, that's another thing. Fucking X-Men books. People, you know, Marvel, Not everyone can buy these fucking books, right? When you have 10 Spider-Man books or 12 Spider-Man books, and then you gotta prioritize the X-Men books, no one can buy all these. This is fucking retarded. You know, your business model of saturating the market with shit just doesn't work, baby. It doesn't work. I mean, you know, people are going to buy what they're going to buy. You might as well just come out with 10 to 20 awesome ones, and then do some miniseries, and then trade them out for another couple or few of miniseries and have like sporadically sprinkle in some long-term ones, like ongoing series, like just regular fucking X-Men, or just go back to Uncanny X-Men, which they're doing. They're going back to Uncanny X-Men. Why they have X-Men Red, X-Men Blue, X-Men Gold, X-Men Silver, X-Men Fuchsia, X-Men Magenta, you know, all these other fucking names, colors. Might as well. X-Men fucking Orange, X-Men Violet, X-Men Ultra Spectrum, X-Men Stupid. Weapon H, probably going to be done here pretty soon. But we have the covers for 8 and 9. Old Man Logan number 50. Up at 50. X-Men Red. Weapon X. Can't believe that's still going on. Oh yes, and plus we have the Star Wars books. How can we ever forget about the Star Wars books? Because remember, they have comic books out now that are supposed to be in canon. So we have Solo, a Star Wars story, adaptation. Like anyone gives a flying fuck. I love the movie, and I saw it in a movie theater 3 times. You think I'm gonna buy this fucking stupid comic book? No, I'm gonna buy it when it comes out on fucking Blu-ray. I don't want to read the dumbass fucking comic. I'm gonna buy it on fucking Blu-ray and watch it until the fucking thing wears out. Which Blu-rays can't wear out, but you know. Star Wars number 55. All right. Star Wars Dr. Aphra number 25. I figured this would have wrapped up pretty soon. Still going. Darth Vader. Oh, and look at that. All right. And then we have no graphic novels coming out. Who gives a shit? Yes. So, yeah. Put that up there. So, why do I feel like I have such disdain in my role right now? You know, one may ask. Well, it's because it's cannibalizing on itself. Read off like close to 50 fucking, probably that. You know, there's probably more that because it's so stupid. No one has that type of disposable income to where you can spend that type of money on a fucking book, right? On comic books. And honestly, you know, comic books are supposed to be entertaining, are supposed to be things of escapism. But also, too, the problem is that if you don't, you gotta make in business, you have to make the audience want more or do more with less, right? So you want the audience to wait, your readers, audience members, whatever, patrons, you want them to want more, right? Or you want them to speculate, oh man, wouldn't it be so cool if whatchamacallit teamed up, right? But you don't want to have, you want to end, I would do like this, right? You know, you have a run of books, you know, you have your Uncanny X-Men, and then you have your X-Men, right? You don't have fucking Gold, and then X-Men Blue, and then X-Men Silver, and then X-Men Fuchsia, right? X-Men Magenta, 6 months later or 3 months later. It's just you're oversaturating the market with X-Men titles. Plus you're having certain X-Men crossing over in other ones, right? So Uncanny X-Men, for instance, right? You have Nightcrawler, who's already an X-Men Red, but he's only crossing over with the Uncanny X-Men. Which to me is just, well, fucking stupid. Unless X-Men Red is going to wrap up, but I probably fucking won't. You know, Tom Taylor is a pretty good writer. I mean, I enjoyed his all new Wolverine. I didn't have a problem with it. I didn't really see a lot of SJW-ness in that book. I thought it was great. So that's me. I read the first 2 to 3 issues of X-Men Red. You know, I thought the first issue was very intriguing. Just didn't really grab me. Like, say, Venom, right, by Donny Cates and Brian Stegman. But the thing is getting back to Marvel, is that they've been known to do this, where it's like oversaturating the market. And the bad thing is that they oversaturate their market, and you have comic book retailers, right? And me, at one point, I thought strongly about owning a comic shop. I would never own a comic shop now. Just because owning a comic shop is probably going to go away, probably within the next 10 years. If I were a betting man, which sometimes I am when I'm in Vegas, I play craps. I never play cards, but craps, pretty good at. I would say that I would bet, if I were in Vegas, I would bet that within the next 10 years, next 10 to 20 years, I'll be a little bit loose. I want to say 10 to 15, but I'll be a little loose on this one. I'll say next 10 to 20 years, the comic book shop is probably going to go away, unfortunately. Number one, the comic book store was never a market that comic books really needed. It was a third-person market, right? I remember picking up comic books even before I went to the comic shop that I grew up with at fucking 7-Eleven, at the grocery store, next to the TV guys and the fucking Reader's Digests, right? Back in the fucking 80s and early 90s. Or if you went into like Publix, Cash and Carry, Piggly Wiggly, Kroger, what is it? What's another one? Food City. Any which way, wherever the fucking periodicals were, comic books were there. Right next to the magazines with Better Homes and Garden and Bob Vila's This Old Shit. I mean, Shaq. Right? Teaching you how to build fucking wood carvings and shit. Or fixing your fucking plumbing. But the point is that comic book stores were made because people had a real passion for comic books, but also too, the problem with comic book people is that they either, a lot of them have their own private collections that they're not willing to give up because they have so many of them, and to them, this sentimental value. Motherfucker, let me tell you something about sentimental value. If it was so fucking sentimental, you wouldn't be getting rid of this shit, right? So you're strapped for cash, you need money, right? So, and here's another tip. Just because a book says that it's worth $500 on eBay or $500 on Amazon, doesn't mean that a person is going to pay $500 for that book. Doesn't even matter if it's in near mint. Who gives a shit? It's paper and ink. You know? So what? I mean, I could get Spider-Man 300 off fucking Comixology probably for $1, right? I don't need it. I do collect comic books, printings, but if lo and behold, I cannot get a first printing, I can only get a third printing, that's so fucking be it. You know, I'll get the third print. And I have that, actually. I have Superior Spider-Man. I have the third printing of #1. And, so yeah. But yeah, it's just, it's so stupid. So stupid. That people would pay that much for a book. I mean, I'm sorry. I don't mean to knock if a person, you have to understand from me, right? So I have bills, I have responsibilities, right? So $500 for me, that's rent. That's food I could put on my table, right? You know, I'm a hardworking man. I have a blue-collar job. I do this for fun. I don't do it for professional reasons. I have like 5 subscribers. I may have 10 by the end of next year. You know, a little disappointing, but it's fine. But I am not a comic book fan. Comic books have done a lot for me, as I said in previous videos. And I do feel like I owe a debt to comic books, right? And I do enjoy them. I do enjoy the stories, but I just don't enjoy the collecting aspect of it. I don't enjoy lately comic book shops unless you're into like gaming and stuff, like Warhammer or D&D, or if you put a fucking coffee shop in there, you're not gonna, just a comic book shop alone, you're not gonna make profit. You're gonna scrape by. And the thing is that these comic book shops that I'm talking about, they don't write off shit, or they're bad business people who don't know. They can say, oh, I've been running a comic shop for 20 years. Yeah, you've been doing a poor fucking job of it, right? Or you've been skimming the books. You've been fucking not claiming, because every book that you have, right, in a comic shop, and this is what people don't understand, that you actually have to pay taxes on those books. Every one that you have, and you have to claim for, right? So you're paying taxes on those. That fucking sucks. Because if you're a comic shop and you have a whole bunch of fucking product that you can't move, then that's on you. You're taking a loss, right? And the thing, you really can't write those off. I mean, you can write up to a certain amount, but you really can't write it off. So it's like the lost lien thing in business, you know. You can write up to a certain amount, and usually it's like, I want to say the minimum's like $10,000 you can write off. I'm not too certain. I haven't. It's been a while since I've looked into that, but yeah. And also too, I mean, like if you have a comic shop, I mean, it's a little bit easier because, you know, yeah, it's like you're just kind of like, well, hey, like, you know, this is a comic shop, and you know, you have your necessary and ordinary write-offs. So it's like, you know, those are the 2 types of write-offs that you can do. So, but yeah, so yeah, comic book stores. The thing is that unless people, there is one person who I know who's a very successful businessman, right? And that's Ed Sanderson from Gateway Comics and Patriot Comics, Toys and Games. And the thing that what makes him so successful is that basically he adapts. He adapts with the times. He understands. It's like, you know, the guy brought Gala Comics to RobCon and sold a shit ton. You know, the guy always has boxes on hand, ready for a convention. If he didn't sell them at RobCon, he goes to the next convention and sell them, right? That's how determined he is. That's how much of a good businessman he is. And he has like multiple stores too. So guys like him adapt, right? people who have been in the comic business for 30 fucking years, people don't change. As much as they say that they don't mind it, yeah, they do fucking mind it, because you're set in your ways, and now someone's telling you that you gotta, they're disrupting your way of doing things, just like online shopping is a disruptor of brick and mortar, right? So brick and mortar has to adapt to online stores now too, right? And then like stores like Borders, Books and Music partnered with Amazon, then fucking Barnes and Noble's partnered with Amazon, and now Amazon's just doing their own fucking thing. They're like, well, fuck you, you know? We'll do our own shit. We don't need you. And so that's why Barnes and Noble, or Borders, Books and Music are no longer there. I know because I used to work at one. I was a bookseller, and I worked in the electronics for 2 years before I was in the military. And Barnes and Noble is slowly going the way of the dodo. So, wouldn't be surprised if those motherfuckers go out of business within the next 5 years. But I will say that this, if you go into a place like Barnes and Noble's, BAM, Books A Million, Borders, Books and Music, any place, and say, nah, I can get that cheaper on the internet, you're an asshole, right? You do realize, yes, you can get it cheaper on there, but the thing is that you're supporting your local economy, right? You're supporting, yeah, even though BAM and Barnes & Nobles are a chain, you're still in your fucking community. Support them, right? They're a good place to hang out. They're fucking clean. They're cleanly. They have events going on and shit all the time for like fucking, you know, teenagers and even young adults and children and shit. You know, it keeps them off the streets, keeps them off fucking drugs, keeps them from, you know, going down dark alleys where fucking smack houses are and shit, flop houses and all that crap. So yeah, next time, don't be an asshole. Just order it from the fucking person. Pay the extra $7 and be thankful that they're there. Just think of, you know, what could, you know, of them not being there. You know, crack houses and shit could be. I'm just saying. Think. A lot of people don't these days. A lot of people are just fucking, I don't know, naive, or just plain fucking stupid. Or it's too hard to think. Thinking hurts the brain too much, usually. That's what people say. But yeah, so, comic shops. Probably gonna go away at the dodo. You know, like I know a local comic shop that basically, they sell primarily comic books, but also they have Funko Pops. They've been getting more toys now, and you see this change, right? And they've been getting in some D&D role-playing games and stuff like that. And they're a smaller business, but the reason why they're doing that, the reason why that's happening, is because they cannot sustain a market with comic books alone. They won't tell you that. If you ask them, they'll be like, "Oh no, we're doing fine." Bull fucking shit. You just gotta see the writing on the wall. You gotta read between the lines. You gotta know. You have to have a business mind and know what the hell is going on. Because if they're bringing in new product, new stuff, if they're getting rid of hero clicks and bringing in D&D shit, then you know shit's not, the hero clicks aren't selling shit. Because a business is supposed to be something where product comes in, it goes out, it's a fucking revolving door. Just it comes in, goes out, comes in, goes out, comes in. It's not supposed to stay on the shelf for fucking ever, and then you put it in a bag and board, and next thing you know, you're asking the same fucking price as it was on the shelf 6 months ago. It's fucking retarded. Especially with books now. This is the thing about back issues, right? Once that back issue goes, once that shit gets bagged and boarded, and it becomes a bank issue. Motherfucker, you're lucky to get $1 for it. 2, you know, if a person's like, I'll give you half for it, because usually comic books are like, what, $4, $5 now? You're lucky to make half when it goes into back issues, because because people will expect to get that same damn price, unless if it's like a first appearance or something. See, that's the thing. But we're talking about older comic books. I'm talking about like new comics that have come out since like 2000, right? Don't get me started on fucking 90s comics, because you know they mass produce that shit so much. It's like Spawn #1. I seen the motherfucker try to sell that shit for $20. This cat I went to school with at ETSU, an idiot. He tried to sell Spawn #1 for 20, 25 bucks. And he's an idiot, because he wasn't going to get that much. He was lucky to get 5. Apparently that guy didn't know that they made pretty much like 2.5 million copies of that fucking thing. And it's like, and in business, there's a thing called the trough of zero value. So here's the trough, here's zero value. You have to be in the fucking negative as far as anything to worth anything, right? So the trough, and then zero's here, and then you gotta be in the negative for it to be worth something. That's how the trough of zero value works. That's how things work. Because when they're a niche thing, when they're not really sought after, when there's not mass produced, because the more it's produced, the more people are gonna want it. Like Walking Dead #1. I think they only printed like 500 of those damn things, because Robert Kirkman only had enough, because Image said, well, we're just going to do like a limited run of the first issue, see how it does, and even the second issue is worth more than the first, because they printed less. Because a lot of times what happens is that #1s sometimes, sometimes or most times, I forget which one, but at times, we'll just say at times, #2 is worth more, because of the simple fact, #1s they always order more of. Depending on how many they sold of #1 is how much they're gonna sell. They're gonna get of #2. So if they make a less, so if #1 didn't sell that great, and they only print out like Image, or if Image, let's say Image, because they're in indies, they only print out so many of that. First print was 500, second print was 250. You got one of those 250. Congratulations. And it becomes a smash hit like fucking AMC when they make a television out of it. Well, hell, man, now that shit's probably worth more than #1. Has nothing to fucking do with it being a deal with the simple fact of that this was printed. What I'm saying is that there's a lot of variables that goes in to why a comic book is worth so much. Action Comics #1, because that's the template of comic books. Also, 2, in World War II, they needed paper, and what was the paper that they used? Were comic books, because it was cheap paper, usually made of pulp. It wasn't, or newspaper. It wasn't really, it wasn't high grade. So that's why there's only like maybe less than 50 Action Comic Books #1. That's why back in the 90s, when they found out, lo and behold, Action Comics #1 sold for $1 million, every nutter and fucking dumbass went out and bought The Death of fucking Superman, like 10 issues of it, because they were idiots. Because they thought that they were gonna fucking, support their kids' college funds on this shit, instead of just reading it, instead of just liking it for what it was, a good fucking story. Well, I can't really say The Death of Superman was a really good story. I read it. It was okay. I like Dan Jurgens, but yeah. All right. I don't know if it holds up today. I don't know. It's been a while since I read it, but yeah, can't say. But yeah, so it's been going on 50 minutes now. But yeah, that's my little tangent, my little rant, my diatribe, if you will. I know I may seem a little condescending, may seem a little bit of very facetious towards Marvel and towards the comic book industry. But the only reason why I'm very facetious right now is because I care about comic books so much. And the thing is that I am of a science mind. I'm a skeptic, right? The biggest skeptics in the world are scientists. Whether or not you want to believe it, that's your own fucking opinion. But it's true. It's true. Because you just can't tell scientists that this equals that, this is okay. No. Shit has to be peer reviewed. Shit has to go under investigation. Shit has to fucking make sense to those people, and they have to approve of your shit. Right? So scientists are the biggest skeptics in the world when it comes to, because these motherfuckers have hard data, right? That they got to look at. And then they got to look at, and then they got to test it against the previous hard data that you're trying to say that this is, that if something came before it, now you're challenging what came before. So yeah. So when it comes to comic books, yeah, I'm very skeptic, and I have science mind when it comes to comic books and stuff like that. So, but it's only because I care about comic books so much. Right? Like I said before, I owe a debt to comic books because I would have never gotten in the military. I would never have graduated high school, college. I would never have been working on my master's. I would never have been able to serve my country proudly over in the Middle East and other parts of the country. Or countries, I should say. Other parts of the world as a whole. Other third world countries other than in the Middle East. But yeah, so I think I'm going to close it out now. But yeah, just think about the best way to tell people that you don't want their fucking shit is by telling them what your wallet. It's by not getting books. Let me tell you something. You can be a completist all you fucking want to, but after a while of not getting books, it becomes easier. I know, because I used to be a bit of completist back in the day. After I was like, you know what, fuck it, I'll just wait till the trade. I got like the first new story arc, or the first or second one. I was just like, man, fuck it, because usually, it's 5-6 issues, but if you're waiting like a month, for each issue, then it's like, that's another 3 months, right? And look at Marvel now with their fucking heart, books that come out bi-monthly, or bi-weekly, right? Either they have the same fucking artist on the book, or they have to switch up artists that are not as good as the original artists. Same thing with DC. It's like they're getting to a funk now too, because they're cutting corners, because both companies are cutting corners and stuff like that when it comes to the art. The art is not top notch anymore. It really isn't, because they're doing this bi-weekly shit, which is fucking stupid. I mean, if you got to give artists a break, right? I mean, I do understand that, yeah, we're in the age of technology, the age of the internet, and people consume that shit. I mean, it's the age of the millennial. I'm not a fucking millennial, so for me, it's like I'm used to waiting like a month for a comic book, right? But I don't consume things, like I'm not a very impatient person. And that's just not me. I'm not impatient for content. If I am, then I try something new, right? Until I get the other content that I originally was getting. So, But yeah. But so yeah, that's my diatribe on on the cannibalization of Marvel cannibalizing on itself. It's not good. I don't want to see Marvel go under. They probably won't because they're owned by Disney. But I can see Disney just selling, selling pieces, or not selling pieces of it, but just licensing them like what they're doing now with fucking IDW and the Star Wars shit, like Star Wars Adventures and they also licensed something else I can't remember because it's stupid. But yeah, so Marvel, you're fucking up, guy. You're fucking up. But once again, this is a Guerrilla live stream. I know I didn't put it in the description. I'll probably go back and put it in the description again, edit it a little bit, polish it up. Yeah. But I know we have 0 people and 0 thumbs up. But like I said before, I make these videos for me. If you like these videos that I do, please give it the thumbs up and subscribe to my channel, Handsome Cobra. But I'm a realist. I'm not going to pat your ass and tell you that the world's full of sunshine and fucking rainbows. Because it's not. But I can try to brighten up some people's days when it's a little bit cloudy and gloomy. Hopefully I can do that. All right. Love to all. Comes gay for life. And aloha. Confidence.